I'd like to applaud our crowd. I thought the atmosphere was incredible. If that's something we can build on that, lay a foundation with that energy, man, our guys fed off of that, and I thought it was phenomenal. Great atmosphere. And again, this can be a very imposing environment, and I think that's something important. Hopefully they saw some good things from our team. I thought we did some good things. I really did. I was glad to see our guys respond, after the half. We didn't end it the way we wanted to, but I thought we did some really good things. Found a way to get back in the game. Mentally, I thought they were pretty resilient, which is something we've talked a lot about. I thought we did that. We just didn't make enough plays down the stretch to close it out.
John, just one field goal in the final 12 minutes of the first half. I mean, what was the difference then? I mean, shot well coming out and then kind of went that low.
Yeah, I think we settled, honestly. We did shoot the ball well, but because we were making shots, then we just started settling for shots at the end, And again, the things we were talking about in our huddles was attacking the rim, playing inside out, and they did a good job, man. I applaud St. Louis. Had a great game plan. They were kind of sitting in the lane, not necessarily playing a packed defense, but they made it tough for us to punch gaps, to get the ball inside, which is kind of our strength right now. They forced us to shoot shots on the perimeter. We just didn't knock them down. But we have guys that can make shots. Not a major concern.
John, do you think their intensity picked up? I mean, you came out with a lot of intensity and sort of put them on their heels, and it seemed like they maybe picked it up a little bit after that.
It's a good program. Again, Jim Cruz is a great coach. I mean, he did a really good job. They've got good players. They've got experienced guys. I mean, really their whole roster, for the most part, is back. From a year ago. I think 4 starters, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they did a good job. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's a heavyweight battle right there. I like to say it's a dogfight. I mean, the stats that we look at were right down to the wire. Both of us had 15 turnovers, I think. We made 21 free throws. They made 20. The rebounds were tied. I mean, that was back and forth. They responded, we responded. It's part of it.
John, only 3 points off your bench today, all of them by Grant. For as many times as you like to rotate guys in and out, did that change your rotations in the second half at all?
Not necessarily. I think we had some foul trouble, and that forced us into a different lineup, a little bit. But I thought we did some good things. I mean, the bench guys didn't play poorly, and we just didn't get a lot of offense from them, as we did against the Arkansas State group. But we got to find a way to regroup, for Saturday.
Carlos, you came out really strong at 7 or 9 points early. Did they start locking you down a little bit more after that, or was it just harder to get shots?
It was just harder to get shots. After the first couple I hit, they closed out heavily and played me tighter. So just gotta learn from it, just learn how to get open.
John, you're about 7 minutes left. You're up 3, and like about 4 times in a row, you guys shot threes and missed them. All of a sudden, they go on that streak. Is that the way you would have planned that out, just happened to miss the shots, or is that some of that settling you were talking about?
I think we settled some. And again, with a young group, that's something we have to break down on film and show them. Again, time and score, understanding momentum. And those are things that we'll talk about as a staff. But again, I'm never one to tell guys not to shoot the ball. We told them at halftime we hadn't really shot it well. Carlos made some shots in the first half. Can't hesitate. I mean, if they don't believe it's going in, it's got no chance. You know what I mean? So our guys spend a lot of time in practice, but on their own shooting shots. And I want them to stay aggressive and shoot shots. We'll eventually make shots. We have guys that can make them, and they'll eventually go in the rim for us.
You talked about the crowd, but Simmons gets those 2 blocks, and the crowd's going crazy. And I mean, it was pretty special for a while there tonight.
It's a great atmosphere. I mean, we as a program really couldn't ask for any more. I mean, the community has really embraced me, embraced the staff, embraced our young group, and it's been great. I mean, it's encouraging. Again, the guys really feed off of it. I can't say enough about the crowd. It was beautiful. It really was.
And just a couple games in, but what have you learned about your team so far?
They're resilient. And again, the thing I talked a lot about coming in with our group, but also with the media, is you've got a bunch of guys that haven't been through the fire. How are we going to respond? Your opponent goes on an 8-0 run, 7-0 run, 9-2 run. You lose a game, lose 2 in a row, 3 in a row. How do you respond? And I think in both games we've showed that we've got enough metal to really dig in and do that. Now we've got to really learn the nuts and the bolts and get a little more precision on both ends, and get ourselves over the hump. I don't have any doubt that we'll do it, and that's been encouraging for me because we have so many new bodies. You don't know, but again, I think they've shown positive signs in 2 games, and again, that's something to build on, because we'll definitely need it, in Fort Wayne on Saturday. That's another formidable opponent. It really is.
John, when you talk about settling for shots, are you looking for maybe another pass or get the ball inside or just work it around more? How do you break that down where you don't settle for, you talking about shooting too quick? Maybe,
A combination really of all that. You know, again, when they were packing their defense in, it forced us to kind of be stagnant. You know, and the way you attack a pack line defense is you pass and you cut and you move, or you got to screen and you got to make the defense shift. We were trying to attack off the initial, you know, first play, first drive, first, you know, and sometimes you got to swing that ball around and use the shot clock. You know, that's something that I think, you know, we probably didn't talk enough about as a staff. In all honesty, looking back at it, you know, in our timeouts, we got to tell the guys, you know, we're trying to coach them. You know, we got to talk more about that as a staff. You know, I put that on my shoulders, honestly.
Is that just more patience? Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. Just being a little more patient, you know, and again, making the defense work, making the defense shift, you know, and finding a way still to do what we do. You know, I mean, that's the one thing. Whatever game plan our opponent comes in with, we still have to find a way to be what we are every day in practice.
Kind of a riff on that same question. I think you were outscored in the paint by, I think, 10 points. Was that a product of settling and taking shots, or did you guys want to hang outside and not push the ball inside, or were they doing something defensively that kept you from getting pushed for the basket?
It's good defense, first and foremost. It's good defense, you know, and obviously we're going to try to dominate the paint. I mean, that's our thing. We've got physical guards, and their guards are actually bigger, more physical than ours tonight, you know, but that's something that we'll grow from. You know, it really is. But I mean, they did a good job. Again, I can't, you know, I always want to applaud our opponent. I mean, I give credit where it's due. They did some really good things. You know, we settled for shots. You know, our big guys really didn't respond in the first half, you know, but they did better in the second half. You know, and again, it's just something for us to learn from.
Carlos, what did you think of the atmosphere tonight in the big crowd? And you had the dunk, breakaway dunk, and sort of energize the crowd a little bit. I'm sure you could hear that or feel that.
All right, we're just blessed enough to even have a community just support us. Like, just us being a brand new team with a brand new coach, you know, it's an awesome opportunity.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Carlos.
Thanks, guys.